Hi, this is Carrie Brady, Sweet Potato, Mare, Paddington, and Moon, coming to you tonight from Possibilities Farm on the evening of the Spring Equinox. The Spring Equinox heralds the beginning of spring, and we'll be speaking more about that in the coming days and weeks. But it also is the day on which there is an absolute balance between light and darkness. We have an equal amount of each on our spring and fall equinoxes. And tonight, the bit of horse wisdom that we wanted to share with you is about how humans can maintain the balance between connection and distancing that will help us through these challenging times. Right now, as humans, we are put in a situation where we are physically distanced from some people that we might normally be close to, while simultaneously, some of us put in a confined space with people that we may love, but that we're not accustomed to spending 24/7 with. So, while we want to maintain connection with those we're distanced from, we may need to establish some distance from those that we are actually physically connected to right now. As always, the horses have some wisdom to share with us on this matter. Horses have very effective nonverbal communication. Each horse has a bubble around them, even within a herd. As a herd of horses, horses will operate together for the good of the herd. They are able to essentially move as one. They read each other's heart rates and respirations automatically whenever they're together. So they are definitely connected. But they also, within that herd, are able to establish boundaries. They do this with clear signaling. It starts out very subtle. It can be a shift of weight. It can be a flick of an ear. It can be a movement. But it shows the other horse, as Potato just did with Mare there, give me a little bit more space. They both have plenty of hay here. But sometimes Mare can come in very close, and sometimes Potato asks her to just move away a little bit, and she shows her respect by turning her head and basically bouncing off his bubble a little bit. That's what we want to be able to do as humans. When we are within a space, we want to develop effective communication with the people with whom we're sharing that space. You can decide together what that signal is and how you're going to employ it so that people understand one another. We all need some personal space sometimes. No matter how much we love each other, we need to be able to say, please let me have a little space. And we also might need some space and some distance from some information. It might be that we need a little space from the news that's coming out, that we don't want to talk about certain subjects because we just need a mental break. So it's good if you sit down with the people with whom you're living and sharing space and ask, how do you signal that you need personal space? What are the subtle signals that we can notice before something turns into an eruption, which is generally what happens when we don't read the subtle signals. They become more dramatic, just as they do with the horses, and then somebody blows up and we might not understand why. Similarly, just as we're learning those distancing signals, right now we also need to learn those connection signals. So I encourage you, with the people that you aren't able to be with, that you're connected to, talk to them about how they're going to reach out and how you're going to reach out when you need connection. Ask them how often they'd like you to be calling to check in, or texting, or Skyping, or whatever method makes sense for you to use. But having a conversation about what these signals are, both for connection and for distancing, will help you avoid misunderstandings, avoid a feeling of isolation, and to be able to stick together harmoniously through whatever may come, and to know you're always connected with your herd, with your family, with your community, with your friends and your coworkers, and to understand one another as we all meet this new balancing act that we're undergoing. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you again soon.